by Union Home Minister Amit Shah to eliminate the most wanted Naxalite.
इस देश की धरती पर आतंकवाद हो या नक्सलवाद, उसको समाप्त करने का काम हमारे नेता नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया। 31/3/2026 को पूरे देश से नक्सलवाद को हम समाप्त कर देंगे, समाप्त।
With his elimination, the government has sent out a strong message as it continues to push forward with efforts to dismantle Maoist strongholds across the country. With Apurva Jayachandran and Sumi Keval Patel, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to bring in on this broadcast Gaurav Sawant and Sandeep Unithan, both of whom for the last many decades have been tracking this fight against Red Terror and how difficult it's been to really crack down in some of the worst affected districts. Gaurav, I'd like to begin with you to explain to our viewers what really is the significance of this top Naxal commander being eliminated. Why is this such a big deal in the fight against Red Terror?
The biggest brain behind military strategy and military operations of Red Terror, Hidma, Madvi Hidma, has finally been neutralized, and he is responsible for a large number of big-ticket attacks on security forces and political leaders. Take, for example, the Chintalnar massacre of 2010. 75 CRPF personnel were killed, and when we were covering that, these terrorists, the Red terrorists, came from the higher ground. They tracked the movement of the CRPF personnel, attacked from 4 higher ground, ensured that backup could not reach them, and then targeted these people. 75 CRPF personnel were killed. Hidma was the man who planned it and ensured execution on ground. Take then the Jhiram Ghati or the Jhiram Valley massacre of the entire Congress party leadership in Chhattisgarh in 2013, and the manner in which they were ambushed and killed. So it's pinpoint precision, know when to strike, where to strike, and then just disappear. The most recent one in 2021, when 22 CRPF personnel unfortunately were killed, security forces personnel were killed. That was a case that was being monitored by Union Home Minister Amit Shah himself. And when you hear the inside story about traitors within our system, those who leaked out information to Hidma about the movement, the Home Minister, from what my sources tell me, was personally in touch with those teams, guiding the withdrawal with tactical commanders on ground. Ek circle bana ke, they formed a circle so that they could fire in every direction and beat the ambush. And yet Hidma was successful in killing 25 of these personnel, 26 of these personnel. So that shows his military strategy. Now that is where the Home Minister gave a deadline to security forces, and 11 days before the completion of the deadline, they had intelligence. So they had all material was given: satellite intelligence, drone, ground intelligence, multi-state offensive. So it's at the tri-junction of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh that Hidma, along with his wife and top commanders, have finally been neutralized. And this is where the military leadership, the 1st Battalion of PGLA, has been sorted out.
It also is because, there's nowhere left to hide. The reality is that the number of districts, which was referred to as a red corridor before, no longer a corridor, honestly, because a lot of these areas have been completely declared Naxal-mukt. So they don't have anyone shielding them anymore. They don't have any pockets where they can hide. Thanks, Gaurav, for joining us. Before I bring in Sandeep, I just want you to take a look at this contrast of what the red corridor looked like versus what it looks like now. And we're drawing a comparison between 2013, when you had 182 districts that were affected by Naxalism. In the south, there were parts of Tamil Nadu, parts of Kerala. You had, of course, Andhra, Telangana, that also saw rampant Naxalism. At that point, it was, of course, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. Chhattisgarh, of course, is where you saw maximum Naxal activities, unfortunately, in Jharkhand. So many of these states struggled, and that's because in most of these villages, there was no development. Contrast that to now, 2025, and these are numbers as of April, where the affected districts were 18. That number's further come down now to just about 3, if I'm not wrong. That's the only number of districts now that are affected. These 3 districts are in Chhattisgarh. And I want to bring in Sandeep Unithan for more on those numbers that we're showing on our screen. Sandeep, just explain to us, what it's taken for this moment here, where we're seeing from 180 plus affected districts from a red corridor to red pockets, essentially, just about a handful of districts that still have Naxals active.
Absolutely. Akshita, in 2006, the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh called the Maoist scourge the single biggest threat to India's internal security. And that was when the red corridor was at its peak. You could actually go from, Tirupati to Pashupati, as they would say, from Andhra Pradesh to Nepal, without, crossing into a territory that was not held by the Maoists. That is the kind of sway that they had 19 years ago. And cut to 2025, they're down to 18 districts, if not fewer than that. In fact, they are all on the run. And this encounter where Madvi Hidma has been killed, that represents the end of the Maoists as an effective fighting force. Now, Madvi Hidma is not an ordinary Maoist commander. As Gaurav mentioned, he was the commander of the elite 1st Battalion of the Maoists, and he was the one who was leading all of these ambushes over the last 19 years. He's participated in some of the deadliest ambushes in this red corridor, where they would massacre policemen, they would massacre CRPF with utter ruthlessness in a way that we have not seen since 1947. We have not seen guerrilla outfits which have the ability to move like conventional militaries, mobilized like militaries. They were organized like battalions and companies like the Indian Army, and they would march, they would lay ambushes, they would massacre CRPF troops, policemen, all of that over the last 2 decades. Now, all that has now come to an end. With the end of Red Terror, the killing of Madvi Hidma, who's literally the most ferocious of the Maoist commanders, it's a big body blow to the Maoists. Now, their effectiveness as a fighting force in whatever form remains in doubt. They first lost their chief, Basavaraj, in May of 2025, and now the end of Maoism is near with Madvi Hidma's death. Maoists now will not be any effective fighting force. They will be on the run. In the next couple of months, you will see more such surrenders, captures, encounter killings, till the time that even those few districts that you mentioned would be completely Maoist free. Akshita.
Well, going by how, our forces have been actively ensuring that more and more districts are Naxal free, it's only a matter of time before these 3 districts that we're looking at right now in Chhattisgarh are also declared Naxal free. What we're also seeing is most of these military strategists of the Naxalism movement being cornered, targeted, being eliminated. These are people who had bounties of over 1 crore on their heads. Thanks very much, Sandeep and Gaurav, for those details. I also want to run you through what Prime Minister Modi said, even as there's been a great deal of focus on red terror, Naxalism. Remember that the BJP has also always spoken about those in cities who continue to back these Naxals. He's attacked the Congress party once again for sheltering Maoist ideologies, calling it an urban Naxal network. Prime Minister Modi also called Congress a threat to India's unity. Listen into this.
बीते 5 दशकों तक देश का करीब हर बड़ा राज्य माओवादी आतंक की चपेट में रहा। लेकिन ये देश का दुर्भाग्य था कि कांग्रेस भारत के संविधान को नकारने वाले माओवादी आतंक को पालती पोसती रही और सिर्फ दूर दराज के क्षेत्रों में, जंगलों में ही नहीं, कांग्रेस ने शहरों में भी नक्सलवाद की जड़ों को खाद पानी दिया। कांग्रेस ने बड़ी बड़ी संस्थाओं में अर्बन नक्सलियों को स्थापित किया। साथियों, 10-15 साल पहले कांग्रेस में जो अर्बन नक्सली माओवादी पैर जमा चुके थे, वो अब कांग्रेस को मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस एमएमसी बना चुके हैं। और मैं आज पूरी जिम्मेदारी से कहूंगा कि मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस अपने स्वार्थ में देश हित को तिलांजलि दे चुकी है। आज की मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस देश की एकता के सामने बहुत बड़ा खतरा बनती जा रही है।
And let's get you an update on Prime Minister Modi's visit to Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh tomorrow. The Prime Minister will be making a brief visit first to Coimbatore and then to Andhra Pradesh, where he'll be visiting Puttaparthi. But the Prime Minister will be in Coimbatore for this mega farmer meet. And amid that, Chief Minister Stalin has also shot off a letter to Prime Minister Modi, putting forth 3 demands on behalf of farmers to the Prime Minister, including on issues like paddy procurement, referring to the monsoons that are hitting Tamil Nadu. So the Prime Minister will be in Coimbatore for just about 3 hours tomorrow, after which he'll make his way to Andhra Pradesh. Let me bring in Pramod Madhav and Apurva Jayachandran for more details on what's really on the Prime Minister's agenda. Pramod, to you first. As the Prime Minister will be touching down on Coimbatore already, there's a whole lot of politics. The timing is extremely important here because we're months away from an election in Tamil Nadu. So everyone's going to be talking about really this visit by the Prime Minister. We've already seen a letter being shot off by Chief Minister Stalin.
It absolutely is, Akshita. On the one end, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is talking about the farmers issue because this is a major event, a farmer-oriented event where the Chief Minister is talking about, just like you mentioned, the paddy procurement and such. But on the other hand, there is a big development, just like you mentioned, about the political side as well. In fact, we've been told that there are high chances of Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, the General Secretary of AIADMK, and the man who's leading NDA alliance in Tamil Nadu possibly will meet the Prime Minister tomorrow, because these meetings are very rare, and that too happening in Tamil Nadu, where it is expected that a short briefing about what exactly the political situation in the state, as the state is going to face the elections in 5 months, that could be provided by EPS. Yes, there are a lot of issues within the AIADMK itself. Will that be settled? Will the people who have been evicted from the party, those will be included? Will EPS accept this or not? All those things are on one side, but here EPS is trying to strengthen the ties once again with the Prime Minister, and that could be evident tomorrow. That is also something that is being very much expected, Akshita.
Okay, I'll bring in Apurva Jayachandran also for details of the Prime Minister's visit to Andhra Pradesh. Apurva, what's on the schedule for the Prime Minister?
Well, Akshita, in fact, what we are getting to learn is that the Prime Minister is all scheduled to land in Andhra Pradesh, especially in Puttaparthi district there, just shortly after his visit to Coimbatore. In fact, he will be attending for the centenary anniversary celebrations that will take place this entire week on a large scale. Not only the Prime Minister Modi, but also several other dignitaries, VVIP dignitaries, right from the President of India to various chief ministers from across states will also be arriving here for the centenary celebrations that will take place on a span of the next 2 to 3 days. We're also getting to learn that the Prime Minister not only will be visiting there, he will also be partaking in the celebrations of the special pujas that has been prepared for the centenary celebrations of the Baba there ahead of the centenary celebrations. Apart from this, the Prime Minister will also be releasing a commemorative coin and a set of stamps honouring the life and legacy of Baba at the celebrations that will be taking place tomorrow, Akshita.
All right, Apurva, thanks very much for joining us with those details. And sticking to news from Tamil Nadu, there's a full-blown confrontation that's unfolding in the state over the SIR process. Remember, that was kicked off a week ago. And this time, it's not between the political parties as we've been witnessing. It's between the state and its employees. A statewide pushback is now gathering force. And this because you've got revenue staff, BLO officials, all turning down, refusing, snubbing SIR duties. They're saying that they're impossible deadlines, that is round-the-clock data entry, there's no additional manpower. And so they're saying that it's virtually impossible for us to continue working in this manner. So such a boycott has led to a complete paralysis of field-level work, and it's triggered a major administrative standoff, with the Stalin government even making mandatory for everyone to turn up to work, and yet they've chosen to defy it.
It's the showdown over special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Tamil Nadu. The DMK, which has filed a petition in the Supreme Court against SIR, has turned its guns on the Election Commission. The ruling party is calling the voter list revision an exercise to delete voters and add ineligible voters from outside the state.
The entire process is being misunderstood by Election Commission, and is working very much to the disadvantage of the common man. These remaining days till 8/12/2025, there is not sufficient time.
The BJP and the TVK have called DMK's protest to be mere posturing. They allege booth-level officers are being influenced by DMK booth-level agents on the ground.
DMK, being the party in the state in power, has been misusing the office of the booth-level officers, the BLOs, who are supposed to be doing a fair job, are now being influenced by the DMK and their party cadre to act in favor of their party men. So the entire purpose of the SAR gets defeated in the sense that the SAR is being done to remove names of the deceased people, to remove names of people who have shifted their votes, and now this process is getting affected badly. So the BJP is very strongly launching a protest against this. Even the ADMK has been trying to meet with the officials of the Election Commission in the state.
இன்னைக்கு அப்பாயின்மென்ட் பண்ண 68000 பேருக்கு மேற்பட்ட அரசு ஊழியர்கள், அங்கன்வாடி பணியாளர்களும் ஆசிரியர்களும் அந்த லிஸ்ட் எல்லாமே திமுக காரங்கிட்ட இருக்கு. BLOவாக திமுக மாறி இருக்கு இப்ப. ஏன்னா அரசு ஊழியர்கள் சில இடத்துல வந்து ஒரு எம்எல்ஏவோ ஒரு அமைச்சரோ ஒரு அதிகாரத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு நீ சும்மா இருங்கம்மா, நீ ஏன் போறீங்க, இந்த 200 வீட்டுக்கு நாங்க போய்க்கிறோம்.
The SIR in Tamil Nadu has taken a new turn with government officials pressed into work, boycotting work on Tuesday. BLOs claim that they are under extreme work pressure and are forced to spend their own money to finish a task in an impossibly short time period.
We have been working up to 1 o'clock in the offices. So it's not possible to complete this Himalayan
1 o'clock in the night?
Yeah. Every day. Last 2 weeks, we are working like that. So 6.5 orders, we have to check it 100% door to door. It's not an easy job. So we want extra time. Apart from this, we have not sanctioned any additional posts for this. It's a genuine demand. So Election Commission has to look into this and sanction some additional posts. And there is no fund provisions, no training, nothing.
The Stalin government has warned officials that they will suffer pay cuts if they skip SIR work. With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let me bring in Pramod Madhav for more details. So on the showdown over SIR, it was all political right up until the last few days, Pramod, when you've got officials saying enough is enough. We can't continue working in this manner. Is anything being done to address the issues they've raised? Because while you've got the Stalin government issuing diktat after another, they're continuing their protest.
Well, it's a serious matter, Akshita, because the people who spoke to earlier, the FERA, actually the revenue officials, very clearly state that they are under extreme pressure, claiming that they had to work all the way until 1 a.m. in the night, and also they at least have 3 Google Meets with a lot of peer pressure on them by senior officials who want this process to be completed. And when we say the process completion, it's not about distribution of the enumeration form, but filling it up, getting it back, and correcting all those things. That seems to be the very big issue. And the officials on the ground claim that only 10% is complete so far, and they cannot complete the remaining 90% work in just 2 weeks' time. And this is where they are seeking more time. We did put forward this question to the DMK, but the DMK says that they have already approached the court, and it's up to the EC to go ahead and find out what could be done on this matter, Akshita.
Okay, thanks Pramod for joining us with those details. We'll see what plays out in the days to come and how really the government handles this kind of a crisis. But let's talk about Bengal, where you've got the SIR exercise again underway. And with that, there are images coming in from the India-Bangladesh border, where you're seeing heightened security because several undocumented immigrants are now rushing to return to Bangladesh. Sources indicate that over 300 people gathered in the Basirhat region in an effort to cross the border. And those images on your screens are from the border areas where people are now gathering, illegal immigrants essentially, to cross back into Bangladesh, because now with the SIR exercise, they'll have to prove that they are citizens of the country, which they're clearly not. So looking at these images, it definitely seems that the SIR exercise has triggered illegal immigrants to rush back, foreigners to head back to their home country. Details in this exclusive ground report.
A rush at daybreak and a border suddenly choking with people. At the Hakimpur checkpost in Basirhat, hundreds have gathered through the night. The fear is unmistakable. Word has spread that India may be tightening citizenship checks, with special intensive revision of voter list at the center of the panic. The fear has triggered a mass exodus of suspected Bangladeshis. But on the ground, no agency has confirmed any such verification exercise. Not the local police, not the BSF. Still, Hundreds like these say they are not willing to take a chance.
আমার বন্ধুর ডকুমেন্ট লাট আমার বন্ধুর ডকুমেন্টস আমি বন্ধুর ডকুমেন্টস অন্য নামে করতে
Many admit that they had slipped into India illegally, working as daily wagers, rickshaw pullers, construction hands, kin laborers, scattered across Kolkata, Howrah and beyond.
আমরা হাওড়ার বাটায় গেছিলাম, বাটার থেকে আবার আইতে পারি।
আপনাদের বাড়ি কোথায়?
বাংলাদেশ।
এখানে কি করছেন বর্ডারে?
বর্ডারে বাড়ি যাবো দেখে আইছি।
Most of those returning are from Satkhira and Khulna. Officials say the movement has spiked since Sunday night. Nearly 300 people were seen waiting to cross on Monday morning. Basirhat's sudden reverse migration leaves more questions than answers about illegal immigration. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me bring in Tapas and Gupta for more details on this expose and this ground report here on India Today. Tapas, this is eye-opening because what it does is it kind of justifies or warrants the need for an SIR. The fact that you've got hundreds of people rushing back to Bangladesh right now. We also understand the security has been beefed up as a result along the border.
Well, yes, absolutely, Akshita, because given the present situation, after implementation of SIR here in West Bengal, we are seeing an exodus of Bangladeshis who are gathering in different border areas, especially the ground report that we had shown was from Hakimpur in North 24 Parganas, Bashirat area, where people had flocked hundreds in numbers trying to cross over to other side of the border. But as of now, the district administration as well as the BSF have not confirmed any identification drive in that area whatsoever, but people are in rush to go back to their residences in Bangladesh. What they say while we spoke to them is that they had entered India illegally with help of some touts and brokers, and that's how they settled back here in India for years, some for 7 years, some for 10, 12 years. They have been working as unskilled laborers in different companies. They were working as housemaids in different houses. So now, after implementation of the SIR, there have been a lot of political statements made from different political parties, and henceforth they are now feeling that if they stay back in India, then they could face legal battles. So keeping that in mind, they want to go back to Bangladesh, but it's very clear now that there were a lot of Bangladeshis who were staying illegally in India, and especially in Bengal, because most of the people in North 24 Pargana border had gone from Kolkata, from Greater Kolkata area, Howrah, then South 24 Parganas, from New Town area. So people are now rushing back. But the larger question for the security
Tapas, thank you for those updates. We're going to continue getting our viewers' ground reports, but we've got big breaking news coming in right now. Gangster Anmol Bishnoi is being brought to India from America. This is an India Today exclusive news break. Anmol Bishnoi, who's been wanted in the murder of Baba Siddiqui, is being brought back to India from America. There have been efforts underway by our agencies to bring Anmol Bishnoi back and make him face a trial here in India. He is, remember, the brother of gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, accused in several cases, including the Baba Siddiqui murder case, where a direct link to Anmol Bishnoi was established. There have been allegations against him also of attempting constantly to target Salman Khan as well. But Anmol Bishnoi, much needed catch there for our agencies, considering the number of cases he's been involved in, is being brought to India. This is a huge step and a big win really for our agencies. They've been in talks with American authorities. Anmol Bishnoi, sitting in America, has been getting that shield in the sense that for the last many years he's been going ahead and plotting attacks in India, sitting in America, which is why this particular moment of him being brought back to India is huge. Arvind Oja is joining us with that exclusive news break here on India Today. Arvind, the information we have is that he is already being brought back. Ye kaise hua legally? What were the steps taken, Arvind?
देखिए, ये एक जो इंडिया टुडे को टॉप ऑफिशियल ने ये जानकारी दी है, उसके मुताबिक जो लॉरेंस बिश्नोई का भाई है अनमोल बिश्नोई, जो अमेरिका में काफी वक्त से डिटेन था, उसे भारत लाया जा रहा है। इंटेलिजेंस के टॉप ऑफिशियल ने ये जानकारी इंडिया टुडे को दी है। अनमोल बिश्नोई की बात करें तो ये इंडिया से फेक पासपोर्ट पर फरार हो गया था जब सिद्धू मूसेवाले की हत्या हुई थी। और उसके बाद ये विदेश में बैठकर इसमें ऐसा आरोप है, ऐसे एविडेंस है कि बाबा सिद्दीकी की हत्याकांड में इसका रोल था। उसके अलावा जो सलमान खान के घर पर फायरिंग हुई थी उसमें भी इसका रोल सामने आया था। तो काफी वक्त से तलाश थी। अब जो इंटेलिजेंस ऑफिसर्स ने इंडिया टुडे को बताया है कि इसे भारत लाने की प्रक्रिया शुरू हो चुकी है और जल्द ही इसे भारत लाया जाएगा।
Okay, so he'll be brought back to India. But Arvind, हमको ये भी जानकारी दे दीजिए कि क्या-क्या चार्जेस है अनमोल के खिलाफ अभी?
देखिए, जो लॉरेंस बिश्नोई जेल में है, लेकिन ये आरोप है कि अनमोल बिश्नोई एक लॉरेंस बिश्नोई गैंग का पूरा नेटवर्क संभाल रहा था और एक्सटॉर्शन की, उसके अलावा विदेश में बैठकर हत्याएं कराना, एक्सटॉर्शन कराना, ये तमाम चार्जेस हैं। लेकिन खास तौर से बात की जाए केसेस की तो दो ऐसे बड़े केसेस हैं जब नाम सामने आया था। एक बाबा सिद्दीकी की हत्याकांड में नाम सामने आया था और सलमान खान के घर फायरिंग करवाने में इसका नाम सामने आया था। तो उसके अलावा कई केसेस इसके ऊपर दिल्ली, हरियाणा, पंजाब, राजस्थान और अलग अलग राज्यों में दर्ज हैं। तो फिलहाल इसकी तलाश थी। ये वेल नोन फैक्ट है कि अमेरिका में इसे हिरासत में लिया गया था। वहां पर ये पॉलिटिकल असाइलम लेने की भी कोशिश कर रहा था। लेकिन अब ये जो जानकारी आई है वो बड़ी जानकारी आई है कि अनमोल बिश्नोई को भारत लाया जा रहा है। उसकी प्रक्रिया भी शुरू हो गई है। अब क्या वो NIA की कस्टडी में होगा, दिल्ली पुलिस की कस्टडी में होगा, ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन का सब्जेक्ट है। जी,
thank you, Arvind, for those details. Many cases that gangster Anmol Bishnoi has been involved in, whether it was the Sidhu Moosewala murder or the Baba Siddiqui murder, or the threats constantly to target Salman Khan. All of that was courtesy Anmol Bishnoi. His brother Lawrence Bishnoi is currently behind bars. Anmol Bishnoi has been based in America and carrying out these attacks sometimes at the behest of his brother as well, which is why this particular step was extremely crucial to bring him to India to face a trial. And with that news break, I'm slipping into a short break here on Super 6. We'll be right back. We'll get you details of the controversy surrounding director SS Rajamouli over his comments at the trailer launch of his next film, Varanasi.
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the true flagship killer.
Motorola Edge 60 Pro. Hello, Moto.
सल्यूट है जी, आप देश की रक्षा में जान लगा देते हैं और आप घर घर में तार लगाते हैं जी। ई-बीम टेक्नोलॉजी से बनी, न जले न पिघले, सबकी रक्षा करे।
हम सरहद पर लोगों की रक्षा करते हैं और आप देश के अंदर। सल्यूट तो बनता है जी।
अपार अणुशक्ति फायर प्रोटेक्ट वायर, अपार देश का तार।
राम आ गए हैं जगत के हर अंधेरे में उजाला भरने। राम आ गए हैं हमारी आत्मा की अयोध्या को रोशन करने। और मैं कुमार विश्वास आ रहा हूं लेकर उनकी कथा, उनका प्रेम, उनका संदेश। मिलिए मुझसे पहली बार साहित्य आज तक पर हर दिन का शुभारंभ अपने अपने राम से, जिसे गा देने भर से साहित्य के शब्द शब्द में दीप जलता है। जिस कथा में भारत की आत्मा बसती है, युग का विश्वास पलता है। मिलिए मुझसे साहित्य आज तक पर, जहां अक्षर अक्षर में विश्वास का दीप जलता है।
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the true flagship killer.
Hi, here are the top headlines presented by Motorola. Bihar speeds up government formation, discussions on cabinet allocation in Delhi, wanted Naxal Hidma, and 5 others killed in Sukma encounter. Violence erupted in Bangladesh. 2 people killed in violent clashes.
लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि जो गठबंधन है ना, शुरुआत से, जैसे मैं हालांकि दूसरे इसके लिए गया था बिहार में, क्रिमिनल जो लड़ रहे इलेक्शन, लेकिन वहाँ बहुत सारे मुस्लिम से बात की थी। नीतीश को लेकर पिछली हमेशा वो वोट देते रहे, इस बार भी देते। एक सिर्फ डाउट था कि जिस तरीके से नीतीश कुमार की तबीयत को लेकर बातचीत हो रही थी कि अब अगले टाइम तक सीएम रहेंगे कि नहीं, तो मुस्लिम बहुत सारे ऐसे मिले जिनका ये कहना था कि नीतीश जीत तो जाएंगे लेकिन मुख्यमंत्री बीजेपी का होगा, तो फिर ऐसे में वोट किधर दूँ।
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the true flagship killer.
राम आ गए हैं जगत के हर अंधेरे में उजाला भरने, राम आ गए हैं हमारी आत्मा की अयोध्या को रोशन करने। और मैं कुमार विश्वास आ रहा हूं लेकर उनकी कथा, उनका प्रेम, उनका संदेश। मिलिए मुझसे पहली बार साहित्य आज तक पर हर दिन का शुभारंभ अपने अपने राम से, जिसे गा देने भर से साहित्य के शब्द शब्द में दीप जलता है, जिस कथा में भारत की आत्मा बसती है, युग का विश्वास पलता है। मिलिए मुझसे साहित्य आज तक पर, जहां अक्षर अक्षर में विश्वास का दीप जलता है।
We expect a bit of nationalism and patriotism in your profit-driven endeavors. I'm given to understand, actually, the army was telling me that they've been scouting around for 5th and 6th EP procurements. Most of the people have overpromised things and they fail to deliver in that time frame. Now, this is unacceptable. Defense reforms is not a one-way street. Industry will have to be truthful about their capabilities to us. You can't leave us in a lurch. You sign a contract and you don't deliver at that particular time, it's a capability that is being lost. You have to be truthful about your indigenous capabilities. There could be security related issues. A lot of industries say, okay, this is 70% indigenous, but actually if you find out, it is not. So you have to be truthful in this, because it is related to its questioning matters of security. You will have to be cost competitive. Cost competitive is not for selling to the Indian Armed Forces. You have to be cost competitive so that you can compete in the foreign market. You can't have products which are overpriced, and you'll have to deliver things on time.
There's a whole lot of buzz, yes, but also surprisingly outrage over Rajamouli's next film, Varanasi. Why? Because the filmmaker in his speech during that massive launch event spoke of how he's an atheist. Rajamouli, who's given us some of the biggest epics all based on Hindu mythology and whose next film, Varanasi, also shows a glimpse of Lord Hanuman, said his family believes in God and he doesn't. Listen into that.
నాకు దేవుడి మీద పెద్ద నమ్మకం లేదండి. నాన్నగారు వచ్చి ఇందాక హనుమ వెనకాల ఉంటాడు, గుండె తట్టి నడిపిస్తాడు అని చెప్పారు. ఇలా అయిన వెంటనే కోపం వచ్చింది, ఇదేనా నడిపించేది అని. మా ఆవిడకి హనుమంతుడు అంటే చాలా చాలా ఇష్టం. ఫ్రెండ్ లాగా బిహేవ్ చేస్తుంది, మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటుంది. మా ఆవిడ మీద కూడా కోపం వచ్చింది, ఏంటి ఇదేనా చేసేదని. ఓకే, లెట్స్ సీ.
So what's with the outrage over what Rajamouli said? Well, there's all this talk on social media that Rajamouli cannot be making films based on Hindu beliefs or stories about Lord Ram as he has previously. They say his film now can't be named Varanasi, that he can't show Lord Hanuman in his film and whatnot. That list is long. But we want to ask, should filmmakers actually believe in the concept to do justice to it? There are many complaints against Rajamouli for his statement, but here's some food for thought. Do we take entertainment far too seriously in this country, that even a filmmaker, and a wildly successful one at that, faces flack for not believing in God? And yet when he makes Hindu gods and myths come alive, everyone celebrates it. Is this the equivalent of suggesting that an actor needs to be a villain? An actor needs to be a cop to be portraying that role? Sounds bizarre. But this also leads to another question on whether India, which celebrates diversity, is ironically very judgmental of atheists and expects people to have beliefs. That very often atheists get targeted for simply not believing, that if you don't believe in God, you're Western, you're immoral. Let us know what you think of the entire Rajamouli outrage and if it's warranted at all. But let's focus on the celebration, shall we, of Varanasi, as is Rajamouli's next massive film that has Priyanka Chopra Jonas as well as Mahesh Babu together. I'm leaving you with this report. Thanks for tuning in.
A roar rose over Ramoji city as history, mythology and star power collided. It was none other than the birth of Varanasi, the first glimpse of SS Rajamouli's grand spectacle under the Globetrotter banner. Amid thunderous cheers, the filmmaker unveiled Mahesh Babu and Priyanka Chopra's epic collaboration, leaving Hyderabad electrified. The title reveal event recreated the mystical aura of the Varanasi Ghats, complete with vibrant lighting and spiritual motifs. Mahesh Babu made a dramatic entry atop an electric bull, mirroring his fierce on-screen avatar. While Priyanka dazzled in a white lehenga adorned with gold jewelry, greeting fans in fluent Telugu.
There we go. Tagalapette Dama!
She charmed the crowd further, calling Mahesh Babu the incredible, the legendary, even joining the audience in chanting Babu.
The legendary Mahesh Babu. Babu, Babu. Let's get it. Let's go.
The glimpses itself opens in 512 CE.